Welcome back to another video, guys. Today is a little bit of a how-to video. I've got a Funko Pop and I've got a signed window right here, and I'm gonna show you guys how you transfer a signed window onto a Funko Pop. Pretty much why you'd be doing this is you got somebody's autograph, but you didn't have the Funko Pop in time. And so what I like to do in these situations is I'll buy a cheap Funko Pop on like Amazon or Target, and I'll cut the window out, and then I will later apply it to the window. So right here, I've got Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr doesn't have his own Funko Pop, but there's a Benny the Bull Chicago Bulls mascot. So I thought that'd be a pretty cool one to have. I'm gonna show you guys every step. Let's get into it. So pretty much we got our window, we got our Funko. There's two different tools we're gonna need for this. The first is just gonna be a basic box cutter. So what we'll start off by doing is we're gonna get this window out. So we'll break the box down and we're gonna pull out the pop out of this box. So we can slide this out here on the bottom, or the top, I guess, but pop that out. So there's the Benny the Bull Pop. Now we just have the box. And then from here, we wanna get this window out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna carefully make some cuts along where there's a little bit of tape. So let's try to do so you guys can see it, but I'll get it started first and then we'll get it into the camera a little bit better. But pretty much what you're gonna do is you're just gonna get under it and just give it a little bit of a lift up right there. And I'm not an expert at this by any means, but I've definitely done my fair share of Funko window swaps and window replacements. So what I'll do is I'll just try to cut. Just give it a nice little drag along. And then what I'll do usually a lot of times too is once I get started, I can just peel a little bit. Make it a little bit of an easier peel. And there we go. So we're starting to get some movement here. I'll just slide my finger along and pull that out. All right, we're gonna speed this up and we will catch up in a second. All right, so here we have it. I have now removed the window. So as you can see, the window's off right here. Now I have another window I can get signed. Unfortunately, with the Benny the Bull Funko, I didn't realize that this goes out further. Normally, it's just the face that will go right here, so you can usually get these signed. But when we flip these, it looks like a little bit of the Steve Kerr is going to get covered up, unless I can somehow find a way to slide it out just a little bit like that. So it may not be a perfect swap here, but it's going to be a decent swap. So, all right, next step, I'll show you guys right here. So next up, we want to get our window right here that's already been signed. We want to get it in place and try to line it up before we get to the gluing portion of this. So I'm just going to kind of line it up and just see how it's going to fit. So as you can see right there, it's not going to be the most perfect. I did not realize that the Steve Kerr Pop was just over a little bit, but when we get it there, we'll slide it down. And man, I do not like that at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna maybe clean this up after once it's on, but I think I'm just gonna slide it just a little bit over. And again, this is a personal collection one, so if you're doing this to sell, maybe do it a little bit better, but I'm probably just gonna put it just like this, pull it up just a little bit. So we're gonna glue it on like that, and I will show you guys how to do that right here. So what I like to do is I like to use this Loctite super glue. This is super, super sticky, so you wanna be really careful and make sure you get it perfectly applied. I always have a paper towel right there just to wipe some stuff off just in case I get a little extra, because it can damage the box if you don't get it on perfectly. And I'll go one at a time. So before we do that, I'm just gonna check this really quick. All right, so we got our glue, we got our window, and we're gonna just apply it kind of directly on where all of this is gonna sit. So we'll just start with that top one and just get it nice in place. And you want to be very careful with this. So here we go, we'll get this in place. So there we go, that's perfectly in place. Now we'll just press and hold that for a second and let that kind of apply. And man, see, this is not the best one, but I do have an example right here of another window swap I did. So you can see how, since Benny the Bull has that big horn, it sticks out. But on like a normal pop where it would just be the face, this is an Adam Sandler Funko Pop that I did a window swap on, and this one turned out great. As you can see, there's nothing in the way of it. Looks great in the window, right in the center. But you're not gonna win every window swap. This is a perfect way to do it though. I've swapped at least 10 Funko windows and it always works great. Just not the best with this. And the only thing different I'm gonna do in this one is normally I would kind of glue that back on, but I'm just gonna leave that because I don't know what the best way to go about that one is, but we'll leave Benny's horn sticking out just a little bit. So now let's get this bottom applied. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. And we'll just apply that, put some pressure on that for a little bit now that we got glue on. And just like that, we're gonna do that so on and so forth. So we're gonna apply glue all the way through here. So we'll do that quick and then we will catch up in just 1 second. So now that we've got that on the top, we'll just apply it down the sides here. And this one, you can go either way, but for me, what I like to do is I like to just kind of go in from the bottom and then just bring it directly along this outer edge right here. And I do not have much glue left in this bottle, so it's a little trickier than it normally would be, but we'll apply that. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna hit this just a little bit more later off camera when it's a little easier to do this, but for now, so that's pretty much all but attached, and then from there, you'll just slide your Funko window in. It's a little tricky when I haven't put the top part in yet, but you'll slide the Funko window down, and from there, just like that, you should have a very nice Funko swap. Again, I'm not an expert, never claimed to be, but I feel like I'm decent at it. This is not the best one, again, with this, but when you have a window that's more like this, it looks great. So for me, this is just a personal collection. Don't think this one's really sellable with how Steve Kerr signed it, but nothing I could do on that one. And I would still give this Funko Pop, I'd give this like a B+ Funko Swap. It's not the best one I've ever done, but it works and we'll take it. So if you guys have any other questions on that, let me know. I would love to help, and I will link this glue that I use in the description of this video. And then other than that, all you pretty much need is just like a box cutter. Like you can even just like kind of pull it off. There's nothing too crazy that you need to do. So thanks for watching, you guys, and let me know if you have any questions. We'll catch you in the next one.